Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I don't have a bingo. And I have 3 scoring tiles. I'd like to get rid of at least 2 of them. I don't think I can get rid of all 3. So, I have Vibe. I could play Vibes for 10 more points, but the S is worth about 10. So I'm minded to keep it so that I have a better rack leave. I'm going with this. Not good. Duplicates. But I do have the H for score. It may be tricky to sort out the duplicates and play the H. Let me briefly consider the floaters in case I have a bingo. Not seeing anything with the V. I and B don't look good. And no bingo with the E. Nice score for opponent, 35 points. Do I have anything which goes under ZE? And I don't. Nothing goes after POS. Nothing goes after V. RI, not good. So, what do I have through ZE? I have the IZE ending. Not seeing anything. Wow. So, should I be changing? What about plays down from the V? I can't do anything about these duplicates. I am changing. Wow, let me just pause. Do I really have nothing through ZE? I have 0. 15 points. I think that's better than changing. Yeah, it is. And I have an S for going on the end. I'm not setting up anything at all apart from that S hook. What about playing Siri? 26 points. We're keeping OR massively better than changing, so I'm glad I paused. Is this the play? Yeah, I don't think this is providing anything fabulous. I am going with this. Well, more duplicates, but I think getting 26 points was definitely worthwhile. All of my vowels can go to the right of the H. In order to sort out the duplicates, I'd need to play off 2 O's and an I, which I can do with opioid. The score is rubbish, but it sorts the rack out. OOID, keeping Rio. Siri does take an S. I could play just O in column 12. Keeping DIIOR, not good. Only 16 points. And only 9 points for opioid, so slow start to the game. Fortunately, opponent has not bingoed, so we are close. I don't think there are any 4-letter extensions to Vibes. Certainly none I am aware of. I have idio as a prefix with ru. That doesn't look promising, and idio only exists as a prefix, not a word in its own right. Now, what about this ZE? I could play odorize, keeping just IO, and I'm minded to do that, opening up the top of the board. I think when we're this early on in the game and close in score, opening up the board isn't a bad idea. It avoids the situation where opponent plays a bingo and then it's difficult to open the board to catch up because opponent just shuts down any openings you make. Odorize uses the D, otherwise I could stick it on the end of ZE. Yeah, and odorize is a bigger score than opioid, so all round a better play. It's amazing in Scrabble how often, if you just take the time to look for better plays, you do find them. Of course, the time exerts a limit on the extent to which you can do that. Now, none of my vowels go to the right of the R. Opponents played. Fix takes a T. 41 points, big score. Odorize available. Opponents provided nothing new. So let me get this down. Odorize for 21. Wow. More imbalance and duplicates. So 5 vowels and 2 sets of duplicates. However, I have the H for score. Oh, wow. Double for opponent. And opponent establishes a 100-point lead. Not looking good. So, what can I do with this rack? I have Ohio, which sorts the rack out. And that plays here for 24 points. It only just sorts the rack out. This is a vowel-heavy rack lead, but there are no duplicates. I'm covering the double letter square, so opening up the triple word lane isn't terrible. Is there somewhere better for Ohio? I have no E's for going after the R, and IR isn't good. Let me pause and follow my mantra of looking for a better play. What about a play in column 8? Not seeing one. I don't think there's a 5-vowel 8 with this rack, but there are floating consonants in the B and D. What about a play in row D beginning with the H? H-double-O. No. Then the well runs dry. What about this X? What do I have which goes after H-I? Nothing. So the best I can do here is I-O for 22. That's not as good as Ohio. If takes an S, so opponent's player fixed has provided bingo lanes in row N with a T and column 13 with an S. And Ohio's going to open the board up even more, which is fine since I trail. Ohio for 24. Now, is a wearing good? And does it play? I don't think it is good. And in any event, it doesn't play. But this is the closest rack to a bingo I've seen. Just looking in column 8 to see if I've got a 5-letter play ending in I. Wongy is good, but I don't have an O. Not seeing anything there. What about a bingo through O? No. H. No D. Awarding. I've got awarding. Fantastic. And surely opponent's going to be distracted by this triple word lane and hopefully plays a miserable 20-point play, and I can slap my bingo down and head off to Value Town. So I trail by 80. Fantastic. Just 30 points for opponent. Wow, and they nearly block my bingo, but they don't. So do I have a 9-letter play through M-O? No. I've just come back from the National Scrabble Championships. I haven't analysed all my games, but I've already identified 2 9-letter words I missed, voiturier and loaferish, both of which are in my card box, so painful misses. Now, awarding for 86. And the Z has been played. What about the J? That's still out there, and I'm looking at this A, first A of awarding, very hot spots for Z and J. So I trail by 17. I don't think I have a bingo. I do have the W for score. That doesn't go in front of the A. X still available, but I no longer have a vowel for going next to it. So my priority is to play off the W. It's non-bingo-y. And the duplicates I have on my rack, I'd like to deal with at least one of them. This via vibe is proving very obstructive in terms of developing the bottom left of the board. I could play went or wend in column 12. I think went would be better. It would sort out both duplicates. Only 22 points, but it's doing a good job. Column 8 still potentially a hot spot, but not that many words end AI. So what if went and wend is blocked? Do I have anything in column 1? I think that would probably begin MO. Motted may be good. 27 points. Is there a way of playing the W in column 1? One blank down. Now I have a T for fixed. So I could play wetted. Wow, that might be the play, even though it's opening up row O, because it's going to score a lot and it's going to be opening up column 15 as well, and opponent won't be able to have first dibs at both of those lanes. And there's already a triple word lane open. So I think that's the plan. The W is going to get tripled. I think that's a 50-point play. But opponents taking a while on their play. Are they going to bingo in that spot? In which case the complexion of the game will be completely different, because I'll be trailing with a non-bingo-y rack. Wetted also has the attraction of turning over 6 tiles, with the prospect of drawing not only the blank but a J. A simple 2-letter J play in row B could net over 50 points, or would do so. LI takes nothing in front. Oh, I thought that was opponent moving. It was just an announcement, a hush filling the room. Column 8 available for 9-letter plays, beginning PI. Wow, I think wetted is so much better than any other play. It'll be very upsetting if that's blocked. 12 minutes on opponent's clock. Opponent taking a while with their plays. But they lead. How long will that last for? I'm not sure if awarding takes an S at the end. My inclination is that it doesn't, but my inclinations don't count for much because it's a hard fact. Oh, an opponent blocks that T spot. And I don't have anything through the C. Wow, what a shame. And pick takes a number of hooks. It takes, I think, an A. It takes an E. Wow. So I think I can do this. Went for 41, and went is better than wend because I'm splitting up the duplicates. Still 4 T's to come. Even more reason for playing off the duplicate T. Can I do even better than this? Well, I think I may be able to. This is preserving DET and is 41. So what about Tweed? 47 points. It's more points. It's splitting up the duplicates. This is better. I'm creating a new lane in row N, which I would like since I'm only going to be level after this play. Rack leave is decent. Yeah, all is rosy in the garden. I am going with this. Oh, and I missed the blank and the J. And this is a pretty rubbishy rack. Only one vowel. Look at all these beautiful bingo-y vowels in the bag, and they all eluded the 5 tiles that I drew. And another wretched duplicate. So, moaning over, what can I do? Do I have anything in column 1? Anything which hits a triple word square? An opponent takes the J spot. I don't have an M, but C goes in front of AW. That's no good because only T goes in front of EA and no vowel goes in front of YA. So opponent hasn't created anything good. And they lead by 40 points, which is a lot. I've got conned in column 12. The Q is still to come, but all 3 U's also out there. Now, PI, well, this really doesn't look that bingo-y. Hipped is good. No H's to come, so I could play count and hipped. 18 points. Quite a lot. Providing nothing. Taking out 2 lanes. The only lanes that will remain. Well, very little. Row N for face value bingos. Column 5 for bingos beginning with A. 3 S's and a blank to come. So let me return, 11 minutes on my clock. Let me return to column 1. Do I have anything down from MO which hits the triple? That will score well and open a new lane. So I'm looking in the first instance for plays beginning with MO. I've got the mono prefix. I've got moon, close to moon dust. I have mouton. Yes. Not a great play, only 24 points, but sorts out the duplicates, opens a new lane, keeps a rack of bingo-y tiles with no vowels. How many vowels are to come? 16 out of 40. Wow, I could again have vowel problems, but if I hit an A and an E, I could be in bingo territory. Is there anything better than mouton? Any way of playing a C or a D in column 1? Do I have any plays beginning UN? Don't think so. Anything other than mouton? So I have ducked on my rack. Not seeing anything. I am going with mouton for 24. Well, I draw an A. I've got the Q. So priority now is to burn that. I have cat on my rack. Does that play anyway? Yes, it does. Column 14, cat and hipped. Will that stay available? Maybe opponent will be attracted to the triple word square at the top. I don't have cat in that spot. And opponent will surely leave alone column 14 unless they have a bingo. And if they do, I think that could be lights out for me. Just 29 tiles in the bag. Through an I would have sank, chi and chin. No I's available. PIQ not good, otherwise I would have caddy in row I. I've just played a U and drawn the Q. 3 U's unseen. Opponent may play one. I trail by 20, so I'm still in the game, but I think a lot hinges on opponent's next play. A bingo, I think, with this rack would be really bad news. And with 3 S's and a blank, and all these A's and E's, and all these bingo lanes. I can't rule out a bingo. There are 2 S-lane bingo lanes, column 14 with hips and row N with ST. And opponents played silo. Wow, and look how close they were to blocking my play. Only 23 points, which is fantastic. They burn an S, which suggests they probably have got an S. But playing cat does not create a good spot for the S. So, cat for 41. I draw an S, I draw 1 vowel, which is much better than none. And there's just 2 points between us. Opponent's play of silo suggests they kept not only an S, but a pretty good 4-letter set, because silo scored not very much. So I'm not out of the woods. I'm really dependent on opponent not bingoing, and the remaining pool is very bingo-y. How can I get my rack back on track? I've got dang in column 12. Keeping 4 consonants. Wow. So few vowels available on the board, but a lot have been played because there's a vowel shortage. But they're just not available for me to play through. And I think column 8, that's no longer available. I can't think of any words fitting blank EA, blank I. And I have nothing to go in front of EA apart from the S. So, slim pickings. No I's left for QI. Wow. So you would need a blank to play in column 15. All 9 I's have been played. Gosh. So 8 minutes on opponent's clock, 9 on mine. I have Gad and Dad in row H, creating a new lane. Now 22 for opponent. I'm in this tricky situation where I can play something like Vang, a vowel and 2 consonants, but retaining 4 consonants makes it very likely that I'll have at most 1 vowel next turn and possibly none. I'd really like to leave myself with just 3 vowels, just 3 consonants rather. But I'm not seeing any way of doing that. Vang is pretty wretched. In fact, it's not as good as Gad. Now, there's no I's left, so maybe Dag is better here. Yeah. I don't want to create an easy bingo lane for opponent. There's still enough lanes on the board for me to bingo, so I don't want to create extra lanes when my rack is so non-bingo-y. Dag for 18. Yeah, and if I draw the blank, then I've got the potential of an ing ending, but there are an awful lot of E's for ed endings. Only 18 points. Is there really nowhere for me to play off 1 more vowel? Anywhere for dang, for example? Nothing I've got goes in front of YA. 7 minutes on my clock. Yeah. And 18 points is decent. Yeah, I'm just not seeing anything better. I'm going with this. Well, I do draw 2 vowels, but they are both U's. I've got uncut in column 2, which sorts the rack out, and uncut takes an E. Opponent may not know that. But I'm still, for the last few moves, I've been just waiting for opponent to bingo, and although I'm very close, my rack is so non-bingo-y that I don't think there's a way back. It was opponent's play of silo which really signalled they were keeping good tiles. And Vane looks like just dumping a non-bingo-y V. Let me count the remaining vowels. 9 out of 24. Vowel dry. Even though it's vowel dry, I think I should be playing off both U's, because the U is non-bingo-y. And I think there's a high probability that I will need to bingo in order to win this game. And even that may not be enough. Great, just 21 for opponent. So this is what I'm thinking of. Uncut, keeping a decent rack leave. If I can draw, the remaining pool is bingo-y, so I just need, from this play of 5 tiles, to draw 2 vowels, and I'll be in pretty good shape, I think. Only 15 points. That'll take me to 320. I don't think that matters. I think this game is going to be won or lost on who bingos. And I'm not seeing anywhere else for uncut. I could play a dunk, keeping the U. But that's a lowly score. Yeah. I don't think keeping a U is a good idea. Yeah, I'm going to, I think this is the right play. Uncut for 15. Well, I don't draw a bingo-y rack. I do have an E, finally, for uncute. So, I trail by 12. What can I do with my J? Wow, not very much. Can't see anything through the U apart from J-U-N, which, although it leaves a very good rack leave, opens up the opportunity for opponent to score in column 1. Yeah, the J was the least bingo-y of the remaining tiles. Just 11 tiles in the bag. Double N is pretty non-bingo-y, so I'm looking to play off the J and the N. I've seen J-U-N, but not seen anywhere else. Ohio only takes an S. I can play Jelab in column 4, but keeping 2 N's. Jun only takes a K, I think. Wow, this is going to be close. Look at the time, 6 minutes, 5 minutes. And F, M and Y are the only scoring tiles that are left, which is why I'm expecting a bingo to come down. J is often, or any of the big tiles are often a welcome sight, an easy way to score 40 or 50 points, but not on this board. Great, just 24 for opponent, so the game is not over yet. I can play Jun here. If the opponent wants to play in column 1, they'll be burning vowels. And if they don't play in that spot, I may be able to, because I'm keeping 2 vowels. OT not good, but I think Geons may be good. May be good. Opponent's player Vego has restricted the G as a bingo floater. Taking it out effectively has to be a 9-letter play, or a play with the blank as an I. Only 10 points. I'm going to trail by 26 with opponents on turn. I will need to bingo, but look at this. This is a great 5-letter set, and there's this ST spot. So, Jun for 10. So, wow, I think I have endmost. That doesn't work in row N, or indeed anywhere else. Do I have anything with the A? No. So I drew 2 consonants. Geons may be good, burning the S. Just 6 tiles in the bag. But I trail. So what does YA take in front? Is it just R? 1 R to come and the blank. Now there's the PI 9-letter lane. Oh my word, I have Piedmonts. In column 8. Oh my word, will that stay available? Good grief. Piedmonts for a lot. Come on. What's opponent going to do? Are they... Well, maybe if they can't reach this triple word square, they'll do something just to take out the J danger. But that does leave Piedmonts. Yes, fantastic. Opponent burns the blank, burns an S, 48 points. Is Piedmonts going to be enough? There are 2 tiles in the bag. So this is what I'm looking at. Piedmonts for 95. This is going to take me to 4.99, 5 minutes on my clock. It's not going to do anything like that. It's going to take me to 4.25, a lead of 21 points. Piedmonts is not going to be enough to win the game. Do I have anything beginning with the S? That's not going to be as good as Piedmonts. This is going to be a super tight ending. Piedmonts for 95. Bang! And I draw ER. Opponent's got a fairly bingo-y set, but it's a non-bingo-y board. They've got 1 scoring tile in the Y. 4 minutes on my clock, 2 minutes on opponent's clock. What can I do with ER? I've got and rear for 8 points. GE not good, otherwise I could have ARE. Ray is good, but I can't burn the E. Let me work left to right. Yar is good, but not aura. Re, and R. 10 points. Gosh, such slim pickings. Fortunately, there's 4 minutes on my clock, so I'm going to be able to do an exhaustive search for the very best spot for ER, but it may not be enough. Or it may. Riff is good. Wow, I'm still reeling from that play, having missed both of the 9-letter plays at the National, or 2 of the 9-letter plays. I did get 1 down with repudiate. So nothing better than RE and R for the acrosses. So I'm working my way down the board now. FER and uncute for 20. Wow, that could be the play. Opponent may be drawn to NY for their Y. So I'm still working on the downs. No, nothing better than what I've already seen. So I've got FER and I've got RE. So what's opponent got in their locker? 1 minute to go. They trail by 21. So let me consider opponent's rack. Okay, there we go. 25 points. I trail by 4. Opponent hasn't provided anything new for me, and I have fur for 20. And the final score, 429 for opponent, 453 for me, a winning margin of 24 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Absolutely unbelievable. So it was me to go fast, and I thought about these S burning plays for 30 and preferred vibe for 18, which retains the S on my rack and denies opponent access to these double word squares. Now, opponent's rack, and they play pause, and this was horrible. And I was about to change and then saw Siri, which was clearly better. Opponent plays fix, and I just have so many grim racks with duplicates that I struggled to score with. But DI, L13, DI and HID, keeping triplicate O. Yeah, it's worth sacrificing 10 points to reduce that to singletons. Now, great rack for opponent. And they have barriers, double, 86 points. The only better play, N8. Arbiter, making fixed. Now, another 5-vowel rack, which is why there was a vowel shortage at the end. They're being front-loaded in this game. D4, aha. Keeping G-double-I-O. I play O higher for 24, getting rid of the duplicates, and I like that. Opponent's rack plays Mel. Could have played Yell in the same spot. And now I have a warding, and it is the only bingo. Opponent's rack, they play Pick, and I have Tweed for 47. Well, I feel like I'm scoring well, but I still trail opponent. I guess it was their play of barriers which gave them a good lead. And it's opponent with a lot of vowels now. They play Yay. And what do? I play Mouton for 24. I8. I could have played No Die and Odorize for 36, keeping a rack leave, which doesn't contain any duplicates. So I think that would have been a better play. But Mouton not terrible. It does burn the U. Now, opponent's rack. So they play Silo from this rack, keeping AEES. That's nice. I have a different sort of rack, but I am able to play the Q for 41 and no other Q plays, so phew. Now opponents rack missed bingo. Avenues, they play Vane, but they had avenues in row N and also making NA, so that was a let off for me. Avenues is one of those common English words which can be difficult to spot over the Scrabble board because your initial reaction with V and U is to think that the play is non-bingo-y, and also the word itself ending UE is unusual. So I thought about Vang, didn't like this rack leave, went with Dag. Opponent's rack. Missed bingo, Begunks, very difficult one to see. Plays in the same lanes as avenues. And opponent just drops the K. Now, my rack, completely non-bingo-y. So, this is where I play uncut. Not much more on offer in terms of points. And where there are more points, it's a W retention. Yeah, lots of W retentions. And then when you're down to a single U, you're getting the same points as I've got. So, I like my play, and I think the E hook is fairly hidden. Opponent's rack. Missed bingo, a ton of them. Opponent plays Vago, and these don't look particularly easy bingos to spot. And if opponents overlooked ST as well, they're going to miss out on bingo opportunities. Anyway, a let off for me, and I still trail by 36. I've got the J, L1, Sir Joe and ST for 39. That would have given me a 3-point lead. Yeah, which is effectively being level with opponent having the tempo. I prioritised getting a bingo, so I played Jun, keeping nodes. Now, opponent's rack, Undefs, missed bingo, and Furanes and Flawns. Opponent plays Hefes, or Hefaith. And I was not feeling optimistic. I trailed by 64. I couldn't see anywhere for endmost. But there is Piedmonts. And imagine the pain if I hadn't spotted it and it suddenly popped up. But I did spot it, and I got 95 points, and that gave me a 20-point lead, which looked like it was enough to hang on. But was it? Well, was it? If opponent had played fealty and uncute, 32, they would have been on 436, leading by 11, 4 on countback. I would have needed 7 to win, and RE would have been enough. So opponent's goose is cooked. They play any, and I go out with fur for 20. So what a super amazing game. Absolutely astonishing stuff. And really painful, brutal game to live through, because so many of those racks were problematic and a million miles away from a bingo, and there were so few opportunities for scoring well with non-bingo-y plays. I was expecting opponent to come down with a bingo at any point for several moves towards the end. It didn't happen. And then when I had a non-playable bingo on my rack, I thought that the game was going to peter out, but there it was, Piedmont's for 95. It was a 9-letter play, and it was a game changer, and you saw it on this channel. So, many thanks to opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching this game. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.